The Tampa Bay Buccaneers have signed yet another NFL legend. Shady McCoy, LeSean McCoy, has signed a veteran minimum one-year contract worth $1 million with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to join Tom Brady, Rob Gronkowski, Mike Evans, Chris Godwin inside the Bruce Arians Bucs offense for the 2020 season. Shady McCoy has been one of the most electrifying playmakers in football for the past 10 plus years. He's been one of the best running backs in the game for the past decade. But the question is with Shady McCoy, can he still get it done on the football field now in his 30s, late in his career, in likely his last season in the NFL? We know that he was a healthy scratch in the Super Bowl for the Super Bowl champion Kansas City Chiefs. He actually won a ring on that team and is searching for another ring with the Bucs. Can Shady actually help the Bucs? That's the question I'm going to answer here. And I'm going to go through why I believe the Bucs signed Shady McCoy, what he can offer the Bucs in 2020, and why I do think this is actually a pretty cool, interesting, exciting signing for the Tampa Bay Bucs, and why you Bucs fans should be pumped to have Shady McCoy in 2020. Before I give you my thoughts on LeSean McCoy to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Gronk spike the like button, subscribe to The Bottom Line View for more NFL vids just like this, and comment below your opinion on this signing. What do you think of LeSean McCoy in Tampa Bay? Do you love it? Do you hate it? Do you think it's worth the shot? Let me know in the comment section below. So the thing with Shady McCoy is, like I said, we do not know what he has to offer at his age. He's 32, 33 years old, entering 2020. Typically, running backs at that age are not very good. Now, from what I've seen from LeSean McCoy last year and in recent seasons, yes, he's not the same player, clearly. But last year, I was actually kind of confused why the Chiefs didn't utilize him more, especially considering Damian Williams isn't like a Saquon Barkley or Christian McCaffrey. He's not exactly a workhorse running back, so that might give some cause for concern a little bit. But early in the year, I did see some wiggle from Shady McCoy. I still saw his ability to make people miss in the open field and break tackles. I didn't see a guy that was just going down. I didn't see a guy that wasn't able to make people miss, wasn't able to break tackles. He was still effective as a receiver last year. And his statistics might actually surprise you from a year ago, considering he wasn't really a lead running back. He did actually have 465 yards rushing, 4 touchdowns on the ground. He averaged 4.6 yards per attempt, believe it or not, and did catch 28 passes for 181 yards and another touchdown. So this guy, I think, is far from done. I actually believe that Shady McCoy can actually still be a part of an offense. Not the feature back, not a guy that's going to lead the backfield in touches, but a guy that can come in there and at least give a little to an offense in terms of a spark to an offense as a runner and as a receiver. I think the primary spot where he actually helps the Bucs is not on the ground. I think, unlike a lot of other people, with Ronald Jones, who I think super underrated, especially how he played last year, performed well for the Bucs. A lot of people don't realize how good he played last year. I think Jones is going to be their lead ball carrier on the ground. Keyshawn Vaughn out of the draft is exciting in all kind of different ways, receiving, rushing, but he is inexperienced, right? He's a rookie, and he's not a first-round pick, and a lot of times rookies aren't great pass blockers, and they did bring their third down back from a year ago. But the thing is with Tom Brady, we know that he needs a running back in certain situations that he can rely on to pass the ball out of the backfield to. And while all three of those guys do have a skill set where they can catch the football, I would say that Shady McCoy is the type of veteran that you want, especially this season where depth is more important than ever, where he can pass block on 3rd and long, he can slip out of the backfield and run certain routes and catch the football, and he can also run it. So to me, Shady McCoy is a perfect third running back, a perfect just complement to the backfield, a guy that can add a little bit of everything and can fill any situation you need. Maybe he's not 2010 Shady McCoy, but he's still a player that in the NFL can make people miss in the open field, and he has a well-rounded skill set. And for Tom Brady in this offense, that was very much needed. Just that little hint of depth and a running back that can do everything. It also will be interesting to see, being that Shady McCoy actually is pretty similar to James White, how much they use McCoy. Because if you've ever seen James White play, especially Patriots fans out there watching this, you know kind of how he plays. He's a really smart player. He's not necessarily the fastest. He is pretty quick. He can make people miss with his just little juke moves and stutter steps. And that's the same thing with Shady. Shady's not as fast as he used to be. He might even be faster than James White right now, but he can still make people miss. So if Brady puts McCoy in the same positions as White, while McCoy doesn't have the experience and chemistry with Brady yet, I wouldn't be surprised if McCoy actually was a lot better than people expect, because his skill set is very similar to what White was doing for New England. So I actually think this could be a small addition that actually pays off big time for the Bucs. And like I said, it's a one-year veteran minimum. McCoy is going there to play with Gronk and to play with Brady and to try and win a Super Bowl. That's what he's doing. I don't think he would have signed with anyone, and I think that's why he hasn't been signed yet. I think he was maybe waiting for the Chiefs to sign him, and then with the Chiefs situation with Clyde Edwards-Helaire, they drafted him, obviously. Damian Williams backed out, opted out of this season, so maybe he waited to see if the Chiefs would sign him. They said, no, move on. So he went to the next best option, which was Tampa Bay in the NFC. And maybe a couple other teams like Baltimore, they have a ton of running backs, so they didn't necessarily need one. The Bucs made a lot of sense because they're a team that is trying to win the Super Bowl. Of course, they have the attraction of Tom Brady and Bruce Arians. And I do believe that this is a team that's going to be right in the thick of things come playoff time. And obviously, Shady McCoy sees the same thing. So I really like this move. And again, I still see something in LeSean McCoy. And if you don't see it or don't think so, just go back and watch some of the highlights from last season. They're on YouTube. He still shows something. You know, he's not as quick as he used to be. He's not as fast as he used to be. He's not as elusive, but he can still do everything at a pretty decent level. And he's going to be asked to only be their third or fourth back. So to me, it's definitely worth the addition. And just in terms of comfortability, in terms of being comfortable for Tom Brady, it's a big addition. And I also think it could be a big addition just for a guy even just to pass block in certain situations. So I love the move, and I've always loved Shady McCoy, and I hope that he comes to play in Tampa Bay because I'm excited about this offense. I think he can be truly dynamic, and I think this team is going to be really good. So there you go. My thoughts on Shady McCoy. I like the signing. Gronk spiked the like button. If you enjoyed this video, comment your opinion on LeSean McCoy to the Tampa Bay Bucs, joining Tom Brady, Rob Gronkowski, and the boys in Tampa. And let me know your thoughts in the comments on the Bucs this year. Do you think they're going to be a good team? Do you have your doubts? Let me know. It's Mitch. Thanks for watching. Peace.